Today is Wednesday, November 28th, 2018. This is MMA Junkie Radio's pre-show, the show before the show. I'm Goes, that's George, that's Dan. What's in your head? That's Dan Yokers. Dan, I used to have one of those things. It's a paraffin wax, right?
Yeah, that's what they said it was.
Yeah.
The only thing is it didn't take off the hair that grew from the cast. So it's funny, you can't tell it. It looks like I have a normal, like, hairy hand, like, you know, like a white mountain man, a Berlin man. Mm-hmm. But if you look at my other hand, it's completely Asian boy hand. So this one's all werewolf. It's funny.
Do you guys have rough hands at all? No?
Well, because we live in the desert, we have that dry heat, scaly. I don't know. Shit, now I'm looking at them going, yeah, they do look rough. But I know it's a lot of it has to do with the desert. You have to constantly put lotion.
I was not ready for when I came out to visit how dry my skin got, like by like day 3.
Yeah, I've never seen hands that, or your hands like that.
They're dry, right?
Yeah.
Scaly, yeah. And I actually
George
been told
reptile.
That's true. I've been told before that I used to have nice hands, so I didn't have blue collar work hands like our dad, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, George Senior looks like he has some man hands.
Right.
Guys are up in.
Like at the movies, if I put my hand on a girl's hand, I know she got that feeling like, oh, you know, because it was a nice hand. It was built nice. Yeah, but now if I were to do it, I think she might like pull away, like, hey, take it easy. It's the first date or something like that. You know.
Right. You want to have a handoff?
Yeah, we can have a handoff. We have a judge here.
Well, it's got to be Jesse, yeah.
Yeah, I would
hope.
Guys
are coming up. Stand by.
Just in time.
This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMAjunkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is going to be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Gold. This is what we doing while we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yes!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communication stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
Today's Wednesday, just another normal day. Nothing significant.
Silence, George.
Today at all. Just another.
It's my birthday and I'll do what I want to. Fuck you, it's my birthday. It's a holiday only for me, so do what I say. It's a party, make you cry if I want to. Or leave. Fuck you, it's not your birthday, so do what I say, okay? For 24 hours you're wishing me well. 364 days I'm in hell. Oh well. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
That's right, it's the MMA Junkie Radio Show. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. This Goes. Our ace co-host to my left, Dan Tom, the fight analyst back east producing, Danny Otto, and of course, Jessica Rose Clark, Jessie Jess. She's our guest co-host for the day, and it's her birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Did I throw you off? It was a normal day. I was just kind of coming in really slow and boring.
Yeah, and for a second
we shifted it on you.
I thought that song was Just Ace by Gridscreen. I was like, oh, that's cool, that's Aussie. And then realized what it was. That was rad. Thank you.
You threw me off because she had asked me, is the intro a little bit longer than it normally is? And I was like, oh my God, does she know?
Yeah.
She's on to us.
Yeah. That's why we purposely didn't, like, we just kind of went, hi, how you doing? Sit down.
Okay. I was like, I thought I was in trouble.
No, not at all. No, we're happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
All right. Well,
did he tell you that when I saw him at the gym the other day, and he was like, "Do you want to come back on the show?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, what days?" And he goes, "You know, it's George from MMAjunkie."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know who you are. But I just wasn't sure that it was on every day.
No, because she paused.
Oh, did she?
She paused. And so what I wanted her to know was like, hey, I ain't playing around with this 10-minute over the phone stuff. It's all about the studio experience here, you know? So I didn't want her to go, yeah, 11:10 to 11:20 on Friday. I wanted her to think and go, what's a day off that I have at least a 2-hour block to sit with 3 knuckleheads?
Cool, I'd make a 2-hour block for you guys.
Thank you.
I love coming on here.
If you did it over the phone, people would complain. They'd be mad.
No one can understand me on the phone anyway, so it would be pointless.
I don't like my phone voice. Do you like yours? Do you do a different voice?
I have a nasally voice, but I've come to the conclusion that I'm just nasally and fat. And because of that, I think it's just a fat person voice, but I call it nasally just to...
I have a nasally voice as well.
Well, you fight, though.
Always.
You may have gotten popped, yesterday in the nose.
I got popped this morning.
Did you? You trained already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we did like fight simulation stuff this morning.
Holy cow. I was driving in going, man, I didn't even have breakfast. And she's already had a workout.
Yeah, so I texted him. I'm like, I think we'll be a little bit late. Training ran over. And I wasn't. I got here with 1 minute to spare. Yeah. You're welcome.
Well, then I feel good. Then I was able to, at first you threw me off too with the intro because I was like, why is he sounding down? I got this guy coffee and everything.
I know.
And then to your note.
Thank you, Dan, by the way.
Oh, no worries. And thankfully, Jesse here didn't John Jones me with the coffee and accepted. I got her a coffee too. But again, not a diss on John Jones, but really fighters, you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You guys are tested and whatnot, and but thankfully, I drink pretty clean and plain coffee, so you're in good hands.
I appreciate that.
No worries.
Do you like coffee?
Yeah, I love coffee.
Okay, good. Okay.
I love coffee. I would have stopped for coffee on the way here, but I was already running late.
Ah, okay. So that was music to your ears.
Yeah.
Or your eyes. Okay.
I was stoked. I thought it was empty for a minute. And I was like, it was just out of my reach. But
if you would have stopped and you had to get us coffee, what would you picture being our drink?
For him, I would have said plain, similar to me. I would have said maybe an Americano. For you, like maybe a latte, like a white chocolate latte.
White chocolate?
Yeah.
All right. How about George?
For George.
Oh, you know it's George, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, from MMAjunkie. Yeah. I'd say probably a latte. Like you look like a strong coffee.
Thank you. All
Nothing
right.
fancy.
As long as
just
I heard
like
the word
a strong latte, yeah.
As long as I heard the word strong. All right. That's actually a mocha frappuccino with no whip, a hint of cinnamon, and a whisper of nutmeg. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, happy birthday. We said it a few times, but seriously, for you to take time off from a camp, guys, she's fighting in a couple weeks. And that's why I think I was also saying, we went over this and said, hey, look, I realize it's close to, so we can do a phoner and then we can have you back after you win.
Yep.
But no, she wanted to do it, and it was on her birthday, and I was like, wow, okay. Hey, man, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Any plans for today, or can you even
honestly
plan something out when it's like camp is like, these fighters are so focused that they forget about Thanksgiving and birthdays and anything else. Just like, leave me alone. I'm in camp,
Yeah, I somehow managed to completely book myself out from 7:30 this morning to 10 o'clock tonight.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah. So today.
Any of that birthday plans?
No, none of it. It's all training, medicals, coming here. None of it's birthday stuff. So this morning I woke up to like a banner at home, and my housemate had gotten like videos from all my friends and family back home and put them all in one 5-minute video.
That's
Everyone
cool.
saying happy birthday, which was amazing. Made me cry more than once. So she got my brother. I'd never hear from my brother. Like, he's so busy, and I was super shocked when I saw his face come up on it because I haven't spoken to him in like a year.
That's too busy.
Yeah, he's studying a double degree.
We have Skype and all that.
I know, but he's studying a double degree and he's upper management for a group of nightclubs.
You're giving him a pass.
Yeah, he's all right.
Once
he's
a
dedicated.
month. What's up, player? How you doing?
He's dedicated. I don't talk to people because I'm dedicated. I get it.
All right.
But yeah, like yesterday I went to it's like called Topeka or something. It's hot springs in Death Valley. Yeah, so one of my coaches and I went out there because it was his birthday yesterday. So we went out there. We were there for like 6 hours. Had a nice steak. Was hot like in the hot springs. It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
So you recommend?
Yeah. I want to go back. I want to go back there for a whole weekend. It was
Death
awesome.
Valley?
Yeah.
You can get a steak there? Huh?
So there's a.
I thought they just hand you water, man, so you don't dehydrate and get the hell out. A couple pictures and you're gone.
There's a hot springs. It's like $20 entry, but they're all little huts with a hot spring inside. So we had one without a roof. So after about 30 minutes of turning out the lights, you could see all the stars and everything, and then just sit in the hot water. And there's no noise, nothing, no traffic. It's like pitch black. It's beautiful. And then there's a tiny little restaurant that just looks like someone built a deck onto their kitchen of their house, and it's called Steak and Beer. And literally all they have is steak and beer, but it's farm to table. So they only have
music to my ears.
Three things on the menu. They have like a burger, Salisbury steak, and a fillet. And then
What did you get?
I got the fillet. Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
So good. $40 fillet, mashed potatoes, some like salad. It was incredible.
Have you been to the Arizona hot springs?
No.
No. I think you'd like that too.
Yeah.
But not as cool as the one you're talking about. Can you raise your mic a little bit?
Have you been to the one she's talking about?
I haven't been to that one yet. No.
No.
Something about a
I've
place
never
called
even heard
Death
of it.
Valley that I don't know.
No, I've been wanting to go just to say I'm in the world's hottest place. But
that
I
is
thought,
the world's hottest place?
Yeah, it's the world's hottest place.
World.
The world's hottest. It holds the record. Look it up. Google my ass. Check it out. It'll say the hottest recorded, the hottest recorded day ever. I believe is Death Valley.
That's cool.
And
apparently,
that's where you were.
Yeah, apparently America's Most Haunted Hotel is there as well. So next time,
what does that mean?
Apparently there's a hotel there that you can stay at, which is supposed to be America's Most Haunted.
Oh.
So that's our plan for next time, is to go stay there, which I'm super not excited about.
When I hear Most Wanted, I think of Fugitive, like FBI
haunted.
Top 10 or something.
I have an accent. Haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not wanted.
Oh, Most Haunted. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
really? She said that?
Spectres.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, how could you not put that together?
She said haunted?
I said haunted, yeah.
I thought she said wanted.
No.
See, how you say it, they sound exactly the same.
I need to get my ears, like, unwaxed or some shit. Okay. I was way off there. And, but you didn't stay there. You just saw it. Did it look creepy?
So the chef at Steak and Beer told us about it. Because we were saying, wait, next time we want to come for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just... Because there's no cell reception there either. So just be away from technology and be out in the middle of nowhere at Hot Springs and eat steak for 3 days. And then they're like, oh, there's this hotel which is supposed to be America's Most Haunted Hotel.
That all sounds fun.
It sounds terrifying.
Did you ever watch the MTV when they had that series about haunted spots in the world? And the people had to go out there and they were like challenges.
It was called Fear, right? Or something like that.
Maybe, was it?
It was something simple, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember that one coming up, but I saw some creepy ones. Yeah. And they kept pushing the limits of scaring somebody to the point where they put someone in a coffin and buried them for 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
I was like, come on,
that
man.
was a good show.
And then the other people had challenges like, you just have to go down that hallway, you know? And this other guy had 8 hours in a coffin. I mean,
I think the one in Mexico was the worst.
That was, it was crazy, man. It was like, insane asylums that have been closed for 100 years. And you had to spend the night. That was the challenge. Cemeteries. I remember there was a place in Maine.
But
Really
some of them
creepy,
you got to,
creepy spots.
Usually 4 people, and some of them you got to go with another person.
Right.
But sometimes somebody would just get something that wasn't even on the level of the other 3.
There's the guy that got buried, dude, that was the worst, man.
Yeah.
I was like, come on.
But if you ever...
That would traumatize me for life.
For life?
Being buried for 8 hours? Hell yeah.
Claustrophobic.
Or it would open everything up.
I don't know.
I feel like either way, I'm never going to want to speak to people again.
I actually got child services called to my parents once. Just not joking around. I was telling a true story, but you know, for us it was playing. But like my dad used to lock me in a briefcase. That way, the big briefcase. And I thought it was funny, like to put me in there, and he'd like leave me in there for a minute, like not like a day or anything, like or for a while or anything, but like long enough to freak me out. And like, I think I was like sharing the story, and she was like, "Don't really tell me more." And I was like, I didn't like realize that I was like taking notes, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we do a lot of crazy stuff." And I guess it started like kind of going off, and I actually like got child services called to the house once. But anyways, neither here nor there. Wouldn't Jesse just be awesome for that game we played with Joseph Benavidez in the studio, where we did the food draft for a restaurant?
Yeah,
she's I love food, and I love restaurants, and I love Joe B.
So what we did was. We pretended like we all had our own restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And then you would start.
No fucking way that guy beat me, man. I had him, dude. I had it all covered. I had an espresso bar, I had steaks.
Okay. So you would
anything
say, like,
anybody wanted,
the first pick in the draft, you would pick steak, right? And then I would say, all right, I got pizza. And then it would go to him, and then we would go back and forth. And then whoever restaurant looked the best after 10 rounds, the fans would decide.
Oh, okay. That's
cool. But they picked his. But he went, like, very
He got the
His
fighter
was like
vote.
hot dogs, pizza, burgers.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah,
Ours was
nachos.
like a little bit more.
Some little kid, you know, like if he had his baseball team, he goes, Dad, I want to go, you know, it's my
Yeah.
birthday or something like that. All right, let's go to Joe B's restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he had like one odd thing in the middle of all
I had
that. It was,
dessert.
Like, lasagna or
I thought
something
about
like
it I think I had sushi. I had every little taste you could possibly
that.
want.
Do we still have it anywhere?
I think I wrote
It's
it
probably
down.
in the chat, but it was the thing you're thinking
Yeah, I
about
think
was
it is.
chicken tikkas or something was his random.
Yeah.
Some random Indian
He
version.
had wings, hot dogs, nachos, pizza, and then he just randomly had like chicken tikka. Or something.
So good.
But he
that's
was the
awesome.
fighter, so he wins. So we tend to lose those popularity contests.
Yeah.
All right. Can
Hey.
we? Yeah.
Oh, that show you were talking about, MTV Fear. If
It
you
was
go-
Fear?
Yeah, I believe so. If
All
you
right.
look at the message boards, the people that were on that show, they tell you about the things that didn't make the camera.
Worse?
And some of that was even worse. I remember
Wow.
one guy in that one insane asylum you were talking about.
Yeah.
He said they didn't even capture this on film, but he had to, when he was leaving, he was going up the stairs, and he said every single one of the doors was slamming shut, open, shut, open, shut.
Wow.
All the way. He said he almost had a heart attack. But a lot of those people say, like, some of the stuff they didn't capture on camera was the worst parts.
But okay. All right. Just because we have
But
some
she's
time.
going to stay there in
Yeah.
a
Here you
haunted
go.
hotel,
Here you go.
dude.
I think I have the winning answer, but pick a movie that we've kind of all seen, like nothing too obscure. And what's the one spot in all the movies we've ever seen that you would not want to spend one night in?
With, like, the characters or just the spot?
Good side question.
No, the characters are gone. It's just the history of what you saw.
The bathroom in Train Spotting.
The shark cage in 47 meters down.
Oh, that's a good
Did you
one.
guys not hear the memo about movies that I've seen?
Oh.
I saw that.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys. All right. What's yours?
Go to Dan.
He just
That's
said
it, the
something.
bathroom
No,
train-
yeah, it's like, that was kind of. I figured he wouldn't see that though.
Dan's first thing is
I think I'm
always
gonna
not
smoke
his
all of
real
you.
thing. So he's going to come up with something else. Because I was going to say The Room with The Exorcist, but if it's not involving the characters, it's just a
Ooh.
room. So
That's true.
I'm going to go.
Well, what we would mean is if it was based on let's call they're all true stories. Yeah. So in that room,
Oh, but-
that took place.
Okay, that's mine then.
That
yeah.
took place.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I'm
that's
not
pretty
trying to
damn
go in
good.
there.
But I was thinking, what about? I think it was they filmed it in Albania, and the country of Albania got mad, but Taken, where they would go and chop the people up, and
oh, damn.
remember that one?
Are
Was
you
it Taken?
talking-
No, Hostage. Wait, what was
Hostel.
it called? Hostel.
Hostel.
Yeah.
Hostel. That one.
Yeah.
I haven't
Oh
seen- I
man,
haven't
that
seen
was
Hostel, believe
all
it or
those
not.
rooms. You know, just can you imagine spending the night in one of those rooms when all that stuff's been, you know, that's taking place? That's what that show was like, MTV.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and they go, you have to sleep here for the night. You're like,
Oh,
oh,
that
my
sounds
god.
horrible.
I stayed in a super sketchy place that remind me of a place like that.
Really?
In Amsterdam was a really sketchy hostel. I think. Yeah.
Amsterdam
there was
is
some sketchy
so
stuff
nice,
going on there.
And then you take a wrong turn, and you're right, it can get seedy.
Yeah, it reminded me like the Vegas of like I didn't get a great vibe there. Like Scotland, I got amazing vibes from Scotland. The
What
people
city
were
did you
just
go to?
great. Where in Amsterdam?
Yeah, no, Scotland.
Scotland, Edinburgh, and I did like a tour
Edinburgh's
around.
awesome, isn't it?
was, man.
Dude,
The castle is like a dark
underrated,
castle
yeah.
looming over the town, and then at night all the clubs are underground because they have all that
was
old
cool.
like subway like architecture, and it's just badass.
That's where Georgie Porgy comes from.
What, really?
Yeah.
It's from Edinburgh?
So yeah, check this
I
out.
thought it came from Mom.
If you ever go to a city, and you're always gonna see the bus tour, and I always used to go, that's stupid. You know, I'll just do my own exploring or whatever. But I was with Mom and Dad, and I think Dad came up and he goes, I got us a bus tour. So I just went, okay. And we went on the bus tour, and this guy took us everywhere and showed us Edinburgh, the city, the secret city underneath, but that guy was so educational that now I swear by him. Like, we're going on a bus tour in New York. We're going to New York soon. And we got to take one. I mean, this guy was good. I found out that that's where taxation started, the idea of taxation. That's where the saying Georgie Porgy came.
Wow.
And then they just gave a tour. Like, if you look to your right, if you look to your left, it was awesome. I love it. And so I recommend those. We did it in San Francisco as well the last time we were there. And that's something you just wouldn't have gotten from exploring on your own, you know.
You must have had a better bus tour than me. I used to have it. I used to have part of it on camera too, because I documented my trip. But I had this crazy like Scottish guy who looked like Jesus, and he was like wearing he was wearing a kilt, And he was just like crazy. He would just talk a bunch of like mad nonsense. And like I came back from with like Lake Loch Ness, whatever. It was pretty windy up there. I came back and he had jeans on. He's like, "Oh, I had to put jeans on. It was too windy out here. I had little kids running around." And like his kill was like blowing up in the air. Like this guy was a madman. Like he was a good tour guy, but he was just like a little quirky. Like he would just say random stuff. But you had a good one, I take it.
Yeah, no. This one was really, really tip top professional.
Okay.
In England, in London, we which is in England, we did a taxi tour late at night. You know, when there was no traffic, and that was pretty good. Except it was at night, so
how much did that cost?
You couldn't see like the Tower Bridge, you know, and there was some killer. What was it? Charles the Ripper? What's it called?
Jack
the Ripper. He roamed the streets of London. And he showed us this is where this happened, but it was dark. But the reason you take it at night is you can cover more ground because there's less traffic, but you can't see as well. So you know, I don't know, or maybe you prefer your own exploring.
Would you do what she's gonna do though? Stay in that hotel?
The Death Valley?
Yeah.
She said she was going back, but you're gonna do the actual haunted?
Yeah, we're going back for a weekend, and that's on the list. Is going to that hotel.
Ooh. Are you staying by yourself?
No. There'll be two of us. Yeah, there's no way I'm staying by myself. No, God no. The only reason I'm doing it is because he wants to do it.
But you're a fighter.
Yeah, I'm a baby. I'm a giant baby.
Yeah?
I'm scared of so many things.
You can't take down a ghost? The toughest ghost in the world, you can't take him down? Him or her?
No.
No? Oh.
Are you afraid of animals?
I'm afraid of wild pigs.
Wild pigs?
Yeah.
That's #1 on your list?
That's #1.
You're from Australia.
Yeah, I know. That's
what
why
about
I'm
the box
of
jellyfish, the blue ring octopus, all those snakes?
No.
Wow.
Maybe like crocodiles and sharks. Like I don't go swimming because of crocs and sharks, but the animal I'm like truly scared of is wild pigs.
What about Bondi Beach? That's supposed to be a safe beach, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of alligators, today on Facebook,
what is
on Facebook? Somebody posted. well, animals, crocodiles, alligators. Somebody posted on Facebook. That's what you get was like the title, and I guess in Florida, alligator had made it to a public setting, so they called in somebody from the animal control, and you know how they tie him up, but he started messing with the alligator a little bit. And then he kind of started hitting it, you know? And it looked like, hey, look, you had already bound him up. Let's get 2 or 3 of you to pick him up and put him in the truck and get him out of there. But he kind of looked like he started to put on a show and slap him around. So get this, guys. 2 officers or third and that guy, the handler, pick up the alligator. And remember, what's it called? Just the mouth, the snoot, the snout. Yeah. That's all tied.
What was that? Was it?
The hoof. The hoof. What's that? Yeah, and so they what the hell's so funny?
I'm sorry. How you answer my
mouth, snoot,
mouth. What's this called?
Yeah, was that motion again, George?
Nice. So anyway, I could be eating a burrito, right? So check this out. When they put him in the truck, the alligator reacted and bam, swung his tail and knocked the guy out.
Oh,
swung the tail. Hit the guy, and then he just kind of goes like this and falls straight back. Like it was like if you had seen a street fight, you know how they fall straight to the ground, and all the comments, that's what you get. You
Have
know,
you seen the guy that got headbutted?
But, no. But, we may have looked at the same video because I think they said something about that. I didn't see a headbutt. I think it was the tail. And it reminded me of Wayne, the Indian who wrestled the alligator in Florida, and he had his elbow dislocated from the whip of the tail.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so when the alligator does that, I mean, you have to obviously fear its mouth, but that tail can snap as well.
Yeah,
and it reminded me of that.
The headbutt is when the guy got on top of the alligator, and the alligator just went back. Like
oh
that,
no,
and
I've never seen that one.
In the head and he fell.
Never seen that one.
And Steve Irwin wrestled those things like nothing. Like
I know,
but he was kind to the animals.
Well,
he respected them. And he loved them, and he would do anything to just get them back in their habitat.
Yeah, but everybody loses at some point, right?
Whereas this guy, he did, yeah.
Wasn't against a stingray. Did he get bit by an alligator too?
No,
an eel. He was a crocodile.
An eel stung him.
Yeah, but I'm
right
saying
in the heart.
With crocodiles and alligators, like eventually they gotta get you,
I'm positive
right?
he would have been bitten by a crocodile at some stage, for sure.
Maybe.
My favorite part is when he had to check the gender, because then he had to like stick the finger in an orifice. But then he would always be like, "Well, I think we need a second opinion." And then he would go to the camera guy off camera. "Do you think we need a second opinion?" And I could swear, didn't matter. The guy would probably be like, "No, I think we're good." "Yeah, I think we need a second opinion." And like he would always go for the second opinion. He would never turn it down.
So you're telling me if a crocodile, if I went, "Hey Jess, there's a crocodile back there," you wouldn't be as scared if I said, "Hey, there's a wild pig back there."
100%.
Really?
Wow.
Put me in a room with all kinds of
Come
wild
on.
pigs.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get near a crocodile.
So like
I believe your fear, but Goes just put you in a spot. There's
that's
no
true,
way
but
you
I've
would be
been
more
around-
scared.
I've been around so many crocodiles
You have?
that haven't done anything. Yeah, the beach that I grew up on got closed every second week because of crocs.
Whoa.
Right? So I've been around crocodiles.
Why
my
would the beach
whole
ever open if that was the case?
Yeah.
Wow.
My funny story. So, and I only realized this as an adult, but I used to go fishing at 6 p.m. at dusk with my granddad every day when I was 3, 4. Found out as an adult that where we'd go fishing in the water is the largest breeding ground of estuarine crocodiles, which are the big crocodiles in Australia, in the whole northern part of the country. And he was pretty much using me as bait. And I remember seeing like the croc slides. So they like slide down off the banks and they leave big divots. And I remember seeing those and going, Granddad, what's that? And he's like, it's just from where someone went swimming. What? Dogs used to get taken, same spot all the time. I don't think he
Oh, man.
I don't think he really realized though either. And then it was only when I went back there as an adult and I was looking at him going, holy shit. Thanks, Granddad.
Hell no.
That's crazy.
I guess if you've been around a lot of crocs, then yeah.
That's what I mean. Like I've never been chased by a crocodile, but I've been chased and stranded by a pig, and I've always been terrified of wild pigs since then.
So do you laugh at like people like, oh, if we're like, oh, I'm afraid of a lizard, I jump because you've seen crocodiles? It's just like it's nothing.
Yeah. Or like people who are scared of snakes or spiders. I'm like, I don't. You know?
Wow. Yeah.
I understand in America. Like I do get it because all the only snakes you guys really have out here are super venomous as well. Or like dangerous, you know, like rattlesnakes and that. They cause a lot of pain. They kill you. But we have pythons and non-venomous snakes too, and spiders are everywhere. So.
Well, that rounds back. I'm sure we're going to get to MMA eventually, folks. But that rounds back to the question George posed us in the beginning: snakes. That would probably be my most fearful thing is that snake pit or the insect pit in the Indiana Jones. Although Silverback from North Carolina will probably call and be like, "You were there, short round," and just give me crap right now. But a different scenario with snakes. The opening scene from Irreversible is the chat just reminded me, the YouTube chat. MMAjunkie channel. I'll subscribe to Irreversible. You haven't seen it, sir, but I'll subscribe. You guys don't want to hear about it.
Think about it. I think I'd rather be possessed by the devil.
It's an snake pit. It's an award-winning movie, but it's a really messed up movie.
Really?
Yeah.
All those there were cobras, dude.
You're gonna look it up now. Oh no,
that's true. And I just said you had to spend the night. What did I say? You had to be there for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You didn't like my hostel one?
I think.
I mean, I would get over it after a while. I think
that was
because I know those guys aren't there anymore.
That's
where like I don't know if there's a demon. Just
that was creepy. That if it,
I want 8 hours with the snakes.
I believe that it exists too.
I ain't trying to.
Do you guys believe something like that exists?
I
think
think
what we saw in Hostel.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah. Or even a third world country would shut that shit down by now.
Oh yeah, I think eventually, right?
God, man.
Dude, even the cover of that movie looks terrifying.
Yeah,
it looks like intense.
It's a whole movie played backwards, and it's a couple's day. It starts from their day from end to beginning. So the movie starts at like the violent end point of a movie. Yeah. So you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It's got Maria Bello, who played Mary in Passion of the Christ. Got Vincent Cassel, Vinny Cassel, who was in like Black Swan, a bunch of really good movies. And director Gaspar Noé. He's got a lot of stuff on Netflix, but he just real messed up movies, and it's probably it's up there for like top 5 most effed up movies like that. Yeah? That's usually on the list. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm shocked. Danny, who also loves movies, hasn't said shit.
Oh, he says it in the chat.
Oh, he does.
He says he hates.
Pipe in, Danny. You got one? You got one for us? Because I got one. I just thought of another one, but I'll let Danny Olkers chime in.
I was thinking the Stanley Hotel from The Shining. I'd be super creeped out to be there, and they let you stay there still. It's not even like
I've never seen that.
Oh, you'd have to sneak in there. They let you just.
I don't want to hear anything from you. I've named like 10 movies.
All right, I got one. Back to snakes.
And you made me watch.
Anybody that fears snakes.
I can't do snakes or spiders.
What about the boat?
Yes.
On the Amazon, on that J-Lo one, Anaconda.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Can you imagine that? Because that Anaconda was out of control. It was
You guys were on the same page when you said the boat. I thought he was going to say like Jaws or something.
No, I was
Because for one, you're on the Amazon. I just wouldn't want that. 2, there's an anaconda out there that's just attacking these people.
Yeah, I was going to say the boat and anaconda just before when he was talking about the opening scene.
3, the creepy old guy too. Let's not forget.
John Voight.
Yeah, John Voight.
I don't want to be anywhere but John Voight.
John Voight he has like an expanded an array of characters.
But that John Voight
hands you that coffee. It's a no-go, right?
IKEA with that John Voight.
John Voight from Heat, he was creepy as well. And then sometimes he's like clean shaven, he's got a suit, and he's just also creepy. But
yeah,
he's never not creepy.
Yeah, it was not Midnight Cowboy John Voight.
Neither is who's the guy that played the Green Goblin in Spider-Man?
Oh, Willem Dafoe. I love Willem Dafoe. He's always great.
Too.
In fact, I got to say this because I know there's 1 out of 99 that don't know this. And when I say it, they'll go, "Really? I didn't know that." John Voight is Angelina's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people do. 99 do, but there's 1 out there in the chat.
There's not 99.
Someone that's driving is going, "No shit, they didn't know." That's why I just threw out as your fun fact of the day. All right, Jessica Rose Clark is going to be fighting Andrea Lee on December 15th at UFC on Fox 31. It's the last show on Big Fox. They're also going to have some prelims at UFC 232 at the end of the year here in Las Vegas. So it's not their last show on Fox, but it's the last show on Big Fox. It's going to be a big fight card. She's hanging here in studio with us. But right now we got to take a break. So let's do that. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on SiriusXM's Fight Nation Channel 93. Also, just to let you know, in the second hour, we will be talking to Steven Siler from the PFL. He's one of the finalists at PFL 11. He'll be facing Lance Palmer for the featherweight championship. And Chris Gutierrez, who was going to be on yesterday's show, he'll visit us at the end of today's show.
of tats. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
For nearly 1 out of 8 Americans and 1 in 6 children, hunger is a reality. Support Why Hunger's annual Hungerthon donation drive. Go to SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon and see items you can bid on now, like hanging out in the studio with Busted Open's Dave LaGreca, along with Bully Ray or Mark Henry during their live show, or make a donation and receive a gift like a Tom Morello Hunger is Crime hat, a John Lennon Imagine There's No Hunger hat, or a Bruce Springsteen Land of Hope and Dreams pin, and more.
I didn't understand that until just now when my coffee got to there, and I go, oh,
and now you're ready?
Yeah.
Jessie Jess is our guest today, and it is her birthday. So should we do this now since we have it out, or do we have to stare at that thing for another hour and a half?
Oh, I was just thinking you guys would want to eat it with your coffee or whatever.
Yeah. I think that was a good as time as any, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we got to light the candle, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a lighter.
Oh, you don't?
Can we light something here?
Oh, yeah, for this quick amount of time.
Do you have a lighter?
No. Why would I have a lighter?
I don't know. Why would we have cupcakes?
We're gonna delay.
Crazy like
we're gonna delay the cupcake for a few minutes, and we'll see if we can get a lighter. I'm sure they got one over here at the bar or something. So we'll get to that.
Okay, the candle's already ready.
Yeah, it's ready. It's ready to go. All right, cool. So tell us. Well, the other day I ran into you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't at Syndicate.
No.
Maybe that's what kind of threw me off initially because, for one, you were covered a little bit more, and I guess I'm just not used to seeing you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember at first you had walked away in a direction and you waved, and so I was like, "What's going on?" And then I realized it was you.
I realized you didn't know who it was, and that's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I just thought it was, that's a friendly female fighter,
Yeah.
And then when you got a little bit closer, then I saw the tear. That's a teardrop.
No,
no, it's not.
It's an anchor.
The anchor, yeah. But I noticed the tattoo, and I go, "Oh, it's Jessie Jess." And so yeah, and then the first thing I asked you was, "Oh, are you training at both gyms?" And you said that's not the case. So maybe tell us about that change, recent change.
I left Syndicate last week. I just wasn't happy with how camp was going. I needed to make some changes, and that was the change that I decided to make. So I went into where I saw you was Extreme Couture. I went in there to spar for Thanksgiving, but I've just kind of been doing my own thing. It's cool. I already have such a tight crew of coaches and training partners that it doesn't really matter where I'm at anyway. So now I'm just doing a lot more at 10th Planet, doing a lot more grappling, and then doing all my sparring and everything at the PI. So it was cool. Like Eric from Extreme's been awesome, so super helpful. Like I'm very grateful that I'm getting the opportunity to do some work with him, and everyone else is rad. Yeah, it was fun being in there. I've never been there. I literally never walked into the building, and I walked in. I was like, oh my god, this place is huge. So many different mat spaces, different cages.
Do you plan on returning, or was that a one-time thing, and you're gonna stick with 10th Planet and PI?
No, I'll go there.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I like I'm friends with so many people from that gym, and the one thing obviously it was Thanksgiving, so it wasn't the whole crew. It was kind of a skeleton crew, but there was still a decent number of people in there, and every single one of them came and introduced themselves to me. Every single one of them came and told me how cool it was to see me in there. Said they were happy for me to be there, and it was just nice. It was such a positive environment that it meant I left going, oh yeah, I'm happy to go back there. I'm not really keen to join another team for a while, but it'll definitely be a good place to go and train and learn some stuff.
Yeah, I saw her more on my longtime friend and longtime coach, I should say, Extreme Couture, Rich Castro. He does the photos there as well, and I've seen you pop up more on his photos. And I know he does crossover, which I'm sure is great, right? A lot of crossover guys that train at Extreme Couture and 10th Planet. I know he does the open mats on Sundays as well, but
I've actually been training with Rich every day at 11. At 10th Planet, he's my main drilling partner.
Good teacher, good partner, everything.
He's trained between him and Casey, because obviously Coach Casey runs the class, and Rich is my training partner. Between the two of them, I feel like I've learned so much over just the last week. All these things I've been trying to fix for the last kind of year or so, and they go, oh, just do this. Oh my god.
Great hands.
That doesn't change the fact that you're in Vegas, though, right?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'll still be in Vegas. So I'm gonna probably travel a little more for training now. Now, that was one of the other things, is that I'm a gypsy at heart. I like to travel around. I've always been kind of on the road. My whole career especially, I've been at so many different gyms. I've always had my own gym, but I like to travel around and meet new people and train with different people. So that wasn't really welcomed or appreciated And so then I was like, all right, cool. Like, I need to free myself, and now I'm just going to go train with whoever I want. So and I've had so many offers and so many people going, yeah, come up here, we'll give you a place to stay. So I'm just going to kind of bounce around, have a look at a few places, especially once camp's over. Then
was that a tough decision mid-camp to make?
Yeah, to be honest, it's one I've been thinking about for a long time, though. You know what I mean? And every time I'd kind of get to my breaking point, my coach and I would have a discussion about it, and he'd kind of talk me back in. And I'll go, okay, I'll give it another chance. And then, like, last camp was really tough. We weren't really seeing eye to eye for a lot of it. And then I felt like that carried into fight week, carried into the fight, and I just wasn't myself, you know? And then when I started feeling it again this camp, I was like, I can't risk that happening again. Like, I can't go 2-2 when it's not because I'm getting beat by someone better, you know, it's just because I'm not showing up because I'm really unhappy. So it was a hard decision to make. It felt like I was going through a breakup. I've been there for 2 years, you know, but he seemed to understand. Like, he wasn't happy with it, but he seemed to understand how I was feeling and appreciated me talking to him. And yeah.
Who are your coaches come fight night now? Like, what's the team you've
so
assembled?
I'll have Coach Casey from 10th Planet, my striking coach Walker, who's the head Muay Thai coach at Syndicate, and then Gaston Bolanos from CSA.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just some follow-ups here. So it seems like that's like a hard out. Like, you won't be going back to that gym.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, and you're still deciding your future as to where you want to go, but you do want to stay in Las Vegas.
I 100% want to stay in Vegas. So, like, my idea is to, like, I'll travel for camps. You know, like, I want to go spend some more time at CSA up in the Bay Area with Gaston. I was there a couple of weeks ago for 3 days, and it was the first time in a long time that I've been genuinely excited about training, you know? And the first time in a long time that I got the crap beaten out of me. In a nice way. I didn't get injured or anything, but, like, to the point where I knew, I was like, man, these guys and girls are so much better than me that they could make me feel like I knew nothing without hurting me at all. And I'm like, I need to be around these people. So
I like the energy of that gym.
Yeah.
Everybody in there has this, like, cool, charismatic personality.
Yeah, and they're all super, like, they say they're a family. And the thing is, like, Coach Kirian from there, he doesn't try to be their friend. You know, he doesn't take money from them. He doesn't try to be friends with them. Like, he is a coach, and he's there to make you better all the time. And that's what the fighters said to me. They're like, he doesn't try to hang out with us. Like, he doesn't get involved in our personal life. And they all believe that they're better for it, you know. And I think that's a mistake a lot of gyms make, is the coaches get too involved in their athletes' lives. And I personally don't respond well to that, because I feel like my life and every other fighter, especially in the UFC, their lives are so public and so many people are involved in almost all of it that I want to have stuff just for myself, you know. So I don't want my coach to know what I'm doing on the weekend. I don't want him to know if I'm in a relationship or not. I don't want him to know what I'm doing at my house. Like, that's for me. And I feel like that too many coaches kind of get too involved.
Mm-hmm.
What about a good friend of our show, Richard Hunter? Sometimes he co-hosts with us, and he's part of that. Is it Wimp to Warrior?
Yeah.
You're one of the head coaches for that, right?
Well, I am the head coach for it.
Will you still be in his corner and all that? Come find
No, so their fight is this Saturday. So I left last Tuesday. I left Syndicate. And that was like, I was trying to kind of stay there until the program was done so I could be there for everyone. But it just got to the point where, like, I had a really, really good conversation with another UFC fighter, and he was saying, I was like, no, like, I want to wait till my students have their fight on December 1st. And he goes, okay. He's like, but if you're this unhappy in your camp and you're waiting until 2 weeks before your fight to make that change, but you lose because you waited so long because you're unhappy and you don't perform well, he's like, are they going to pay what you miss out on with your win bonus, or are they going to help you with your next camp? I'm like, no. And then he's like, well, you need to do what's best for you. And I was like, all right,
yeah, I'm sure they would understand.
Oh, they did. Like, they were gutted. They all tried to protest, and they're like, well, we're not fighting on the finale. And I'm like, hey, guys, like, we've done this for 22 weeks. Still fight. Like, just because I left doesn't mean you guys don't fulfill, you know, your goals. So, but my other coaches are all super, super reliable, and, you know, I kind of left them in their hands. And I'm still doing everything on the back end. I just won't physically be there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's huge news. But it sounds like mentally, because I would think this would be more trying mentally than physically.
Yeah.
There's a lot of quality gyms that can still get you the work, quality partners. There's great female athletes here in Vegas. I just saw Emily Whitmire, Claudia Gadelia, and Gina Mazzani all on the same floor. Just at Extreme on Monday. I was there on Monday. So more than anything, mentally, as long as you're good and feeling good, I think come fight night in a few weeks, you know, I expect to see the best Jessica Clark. As long as you don't touch that cupcake, obviously.
I'm not touching the cupcake.
Because we don't want responsibility. Not to say that that's going to, you know, put you over the edge. We just don't want a tiramisu Habib incident, you know, to go back to us. But
I don't want that either.
So is that more than anything that mentally you're not stronger, but just more clear-headed, I guess, going into this fight?
Yeah, mentally and emotionally, I feel like a whole new person. Like, it was probably after I quit, for probably 3 hours after that, I was super emotional and kind of feeling really down, and then it was just like this huge weight lifted off my shoulders, and I was like, oh man, like now I have the freedom to work on the things that I know I need to work on, you know? And that's the thing with being a part of a big gym, is that when you go to practice, you're doing whatever the coach decides for that practice, you know, and it may not always be practical to what you really need to work on. So that's the biggest thing for me, is that now, because I like had things that I was weak in and that I knew I needed to spend more time on, but I just wasn't getting the opportunity to do it. And now that I have more freedom with my schedule, freedom with my coaching, freedom with my training partners, I'm getting to work on all those things that maybe I've neglected for a little while. Yeah, so I feel good. I feel like my housemate keeps telling me that she hasn't seen me this happy in a long time, you know. So, yeah, I feel good about it.
If you don't mind me asking, what does your housemate do?
She's trying to be a fighter. Yeah, she's an amateur fighter, so that's her primary goal, and she just works odd jobs here and there to pay the bills.
Gotcha.
She sounds like a cool housemate.
Yeah, she's right. It's her birthday tomorrow as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
she's not to put you on the spot, but you got something up your sleeve for reciprocate there? That was a pretty damn cool video.
That's what I mean. She's
it's like me and Go's not talking for a year. And she brought that together.
Yeah, she did. She did. And she really overwhelmed me this morning with everything she put together.
Brought you to tears, right?
Yeah, multiple times. She wrote me a beautiful card.
I thought we were going to be the highlight of her day, but I don't think we could top that.
You're like a definite second, you know what I mean? Top two.
You sure you got medicals coming to draw blood?
Yeah. No, I know I've known what I wanted to get her for a long time, and I know she's going to really love it, but I don't have anything planned like what she did. I honestly think it's really hard for me to top that. Like, she did so much. Yeah.
Maybe give her a shout out after your win.
Well, that's the other thing, is like I talk about her so much in interviews and like all the time to everyone, and I help, even though we're not training together anymore, like I still help coach her and stuff. And
you still have Blue and Dog, right?
Yeah, of course.
Remember, I think we said it before. Give them a shout out.
Blue and Dog.
Yeah.
Blue and Dog, I love you.
No, not today. After the win, Matt Wyman did it, and it was the most hilarious thing. He fought up until about 2011, 2012. Do you remember him, Matt Wyman?
No.
And for some reason, he shouted out his dog. One of his dogs was Batman, right? Or was it a cat?
I don't know if it was a dog.
It was three of them, and we're like, what the fuck? And it was like, yeah, it's my 2 dogs and my cat. He actually set up the TV for them, and he said that they would watch his fight, so he wanted to give them a shout out. It was like the coolest thing ever.
How many times did we fight over like ordering a pay-per-view? He ordered them for his dog and his cat.
You ordered the pay-per-view for his dog and his cat.
I still remember that.
Shout out. I'm a dog lover. So I thought it was like the coolest thing ever, but I'm also old and dumb. All right.
You know how? What?
Go ahead and finish your thought.
Well, I was gonna say, you know, we were talking about we wouldn't want something like this to affect her. Do you know something that almost affected a fighter? I can't say it was our fault, but I'm sure we would have felt bad. Do you guys know RDA, after he did the interview with us, had a blowout?
Yeah, I heard about that. No, I think it was during the interview.
Was it during? No.
Oh no, you're right.
It was during. He said during, and I recalled there was a part of the interview where I'm like, it sounded like he was distracted by something. Like, can you repeat that again? Like, I don't even know if he said, can you read that again? But that's when he had a tire blowout, pulled over, finished the interview.
This is what he
said.
I
thought it was after.
RDA said he was going 80 miles an hour. He was going 80 miles an hour, and when he took the call, I think it's actually Danny Oker's fault because Danny called him.
That's probably his fault.
Yeah. So he takes the call and he goes, "Oh, I'm about to do the interview with Junkie, so let me take it down to 70." And he said he moved to the middle lane, and so that's when he got the tire blowout. He feels that had he stayed in the fast lane, whatever blew out his tire wouldn't have happened because he wouldn't have switched over to the middle. Therefore, the blame's on Danny Olkers.
It was like you guys seen the movie Benjamin Button, where they get in an accident and they replay the day and how the accident happened. Like, well, if the mailman wasn't late for his route that day, and
I
they
do
did
that a lot.
this whole like
So do
path
I.
with
I
all these
blame
like
a lot
people
of people for
intersecting for it. Like that was Rafael
Isn't that
Desainas'
what
version.
Final Destination?
Well,
like?
that's
Yeah.
that. But think about how many times, whether it's people close in your life, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, had you not been in a certain spot, that may not have happened. I don't know. All right. We got to take another break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on SiriusXM Fight Nation Channel 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. We got Jesse Jess here in the house with us.
From MMA with a record of 0-0-0. They are Gorgeous George and Goes. And this is MMA Junkie Radio.
I like the way how candles smell. Or not even like scented candles, just things that burn. I know that sounds super creepy, but...
No, I get it.
It's the weirdest thing to come back to.
It depends on,
not
like,
the weirdest thing to come out of my
depends
mouth,
on what situation led you to love that smell so much.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
We're back. We still got a few minutes here before the top of the hour break. I think this is the perfect time to sing happy birthday to Jessica Rose Clark.
Damn, I get a song.
It's her birthday today. Yeah, are we singing? Who's singing? Danny's the singer.
Yeah, Danny.
Danny, this is your stage, dog.
Yeah, Danny.
No, Danny. Sing,
You
Danny.
played that already, Danny.
He's refusing.
Danny, do the This Is Your Birthday song that I did, but you do it.
This is your stage, dog. You're a singer. Danny?
Do the birthday song that isn't very long.
Cupcake's gonna explode.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
dear Jesse
Jesse.
Jess. Happy birthday to you.
Woo!
Make a wish. All right.
Who's eating the cupcake?
Well, I got this one. I got mine ready
Yeah,
to go.
they've already got theirs.
If
You're gonna not eat a cupcake on
You have a
my
fight
birthday?
coming up, Goose?
I can't eat a
Oh.
cupcake. Right, and
I'll eat it.
thank you. Thank you.
It's because I'm allergic to chocolate, but all right.
What do you mean you're allergic? What are you allergic to in chocolate?
Chocolate.
Like cocoa?
No, just trying to make you feel bad. I'll eat
Oh.
it. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh, you know, people think. Can I say that what you said during the break
Yes.
about Africa?
Yes.
People think she's from Africa.
Come on.
Yeah, like
Who
you know, like
thinks
when
that?
people when they go, hey, where's your mom from? We go Peru, and they go, what part of Mexico is that from? Like stupid people like that.
But that's
So when the song Africa comes on, they go, hey, Jesse,
It's your
huh?
song.
Like that.
Aw.
Dude, how dumb are people sometimes?
No, wait a minute. South Africa. Okay.
Still, no, I don't even think they mean
No.
that.
The
I think they just
accent-
mean Africa.
The accent in South Africa. That's what it is.
You think so?
My
I don't think
accent
so.
is nothing like South African.
No, but people don't know that. They,
yeah, true.
They can't differentiate.
Nah, man.
Australia, New
UK,
Zealand, and South Africa are all, and UK, they're all very
UK,
similar.
Australia, South Africa. You know, you have to be educated to know that.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, look, it's my song. It's from my country.
Because like
Yeah.
technically, Charlize Theron, she's from Africa.
Yeah, she's South African. Isn't
Yeah.
she?
I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. So that's what it was. Okay. It took
Yeah.
me a second here.
I don't think that's what it is.
The only South African I knew in the 90s, back to 90s references, was Ernie Els, that golfer
That's
guy.
right. He was good.
And he has some South African. African.
Yeah.
Isn't Francois Botha?
South
is he from
Africa.
South
Yes,
Africa?
correct.
George, now it's your turn.
The guy that killed his wife, the guy that had the no
Oh,
legs.
yeah,
Oscar
yeah.
Pistorius?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
guy. Goes back to you. Can you name someone else from Africa?
Wait, we're
man.
2
Wait,
and 1
just
right
South
now,
Well,
right?
isn't it Jesse's turn?
Just South Africa or all
No,
of Africa?
just Africa. Oh, come on, we'll be here forever.
Okay.
Just South Africa. Do you know anybody famous?
Oh, no. I was going to say, I didn't know people from South Africa, but you probably won't know.
Oh, well, you're just gonna say Bill.
Like, yeah. My friend Andre, he's from South Africa.
Well, I got a friend named Bill. Yeah.
My granddad got stabbed in South Africa.
Why?
Did he?
Yep.
Feeding
I-
kids to crocodiles or
No,
what?
no, no.
Violence never happens in South Africa. What are you talking about?
He said the story that I got told as a kid, because it happened before I was born,
The
is
same
that
one that used to take you fishing?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. He's a
whatever.
gangster, man. He has a crocodile skin up in his living room that he killed. Like he killed the crocodile.
Okay.
They got it skinned and hung. But anyway, he was in South Africa and he had a video camera and someone tried to steal it and he was like, "You're not taking my video camera," so they stabbed him in the arm and he still wouldn't let them have the video camera.
Gangster.
My granddad's very stubborn.
Gangster.
All right. We got 1 hour to go. We still got Chris Gutierrez, who will visit the studio. Steven Siler will join us. And today, we are graced with the presence of Jessica Rose Clark, who has got a fight coming up on December 15th at UFC on Fox 31. She is a flyweight, and it's great to have her here on studio on her birthday. And she'll be fighting, by the way, Andrea Lee. Stay close. We'll be right back.
A fortune won and lost.
This is the song that plays when we go to Chipotle and we walk in.
This is good. This is a good cupcake.
Yeah, I did a lot of research.
We're at the Smith's Bakery.
Albertsons. I'm high end.
I've had those cupcakes before. They are good.
Yeah.
Want to know something funny on the way in? I had coconut strips from Trader Joe's.
What? Oh yeah.
And they got stuck in my gums and my teeth. And
10-9 coconut chips.
Yeah. So like the first part of the show, I'm like, people probably thought I was having a stroke.
You're like Mr. Ed?
Because I kept making all these facial gestures, but I was trying to get like pieces out, you know. And now I probably got brown teeth because of the damn cupcake. I'm a wreck. I'm a complete wreck.
Do you
and I was trying to be healthy today, and Tom.
This is what we were talking about. Blaming things on other people.
This is what we're talking about.
We gotta do the whole.
Hey, do you guys want to know? You know your fact that you said maybe 1 in 9 didn't know. Here's one. Do you remember?
1 in 99.
1 in 99.
The whole world knows that Angelina Jolie's dad.
You think so?
Is John Voight, except for one person, and I just educated that one person.
Angelina Jolie.
I bet you. I bet take a look at the chat room, and I bet you they're all going, "Oh
Did
yeah,
you ever
fuck
watch
yeah, we all
Mr.
knew
Ed?
that."
Oh, the horse.
Yeah. Do you know
I
how
know what
they
you're
made
about
him
to
talk?
say. Yeah.
Peanut butter.
They stuck a finger up his butt.
No.
Peanut butter.
She thinks like me. I like that.
Do you know, Dan?
No, I would have guessed the same thing.
I'm
I'm not even serious.
Peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's peanut
Because
butter.
I've seen
So you're the one.
they do it to dogs as well.
I gotta stop telling kids it was the
Oh,
other thing.
Yeah.
I gotta stop telling kids it was the other thing. Then I'm gonna get in trouble there.
Facts by Dan.
Oh my goodness.
I like how Danny chimed in for that part of the show, but he wouldn't sing Jessica Rose Clark "Happy Birthday." I gotta get this guy to sing her.
Yeah, I don't really want it anymore though.
No.
That's it.
All right.
I don't think he knows the song.
I don't.
You don't know the lyrics, Danny?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't know the lyrics to "Happy Birthday."
All right. Andrea Lee, size her up for me. When you first started going back, looking at the fights, was there anything that jumped out, or is it just to you another flag, top 10, top 15 flyweight? You know, that's in your way.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sick. I was confused. I'm like, how in depth in my answer do I want to be? I've been a huge fan of hers for a while. Like, we almost got matched on Invicta a couple of times, and I said this to John Wood at the time, that fight needed to happen for a lot more money than I was getting paid in Invicta, because she's a tough girl, you know. She's got great striking, great grappling, and yeah, I don't know. There's not like, I think she's really well rounded. She's big, she's strong. Like, I've been excited about it for a long, long time. I've wanted this one for a lot longer than this matchup, you know.
No, I like the fight. I like the matchup. I think you're right. 2-2, 3-1, very pivotal fight for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you saw the importance in that one, because your division, you know, it's highlighted 1 week before, because they're going to crown a new champion.
Yeah.
And then after that, we want to see what the contender chase is like. I don't know what's going to happen with Eubanks, honestly. I think she finally came to grips that with the fact that the UFC may just have to take one fight, the weight class above, or if she comes back and does it. Roxy's now out of the way because she took that loss. Yeah. She lost last year. But I'm anxious to see who's going to be like next in line. Like, you know what I mean?
It'll be Jessica Eye or Caitlin. That'll be the contender fight before you.
But remember, many things can happen. For one of those can win and have a boring fight.
Yeah. And
you lose a little bit of steam, and then others can leap ahead by going out there and getting like a finish or starching somebody, like you said. Yeah. Injury is another thing.
Yeah.
You just never know. So I feel like you're always auditioning for a title shot.
The other thing is they could just grant an automatic rematch to whoever loses between Joanna and Valentina.
I know. I always say that. I always leave that out, that if it's a barn burner, that they may run it back. It happened with Edgar Maynard back in the day. I think Dana committed to it on fight night. Then he said no. Then he said yes. So many things can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So right now we're going to move over to Steven Siler. He's got a fight coming up at PFL 11 on December 31st. Couldn't be happier for this dude. He went out there and did his business during the regular season. And then, of course, he had to win twice in one night, and he did. We checked in with him after the wins over Almeida and the draw where he was able to advance over Malagari. And now I want to see mid-camp where he's at. He joins us now on the hotline. What's up, Steven Siler? How you doing?
How you doing?
Good, my man. Thank you for asking. All right, so you're about the halfway point. Tell me how you feeling for this big fight. $1 million at stake, Steven Siler. And remember, I think the deal is you're taking us to Chipotle if you win.
Hey, that sounds good to me. I just need to make my way down to Vegas again. I missed that place already. But feel good. Feel really good. Just got done doing a workout with Coach Mark before he heads out to Joe Warden's fight in Oklahoma. So we had a quick one in, and now I get to relax the rest of the day and go do laundry.
Oh, okay. Now, let me ask you something. I can't obviously be public with the name, but I saw a fighter recently who had a fight coming up, and they were going through an illness. And they were like, hey, look, as bad as this is, luckily it's now and not any closer to my fight. How much do you think about not just that, but injuries and, like, what kind of a camp have you had? Because there's so much here at stake for this particular fight versus any other fight you've had, by far.
I've actually been sick a couple times this camp, and the only thing I can say is, like, I'm glad it's happening now, and I'm doing good now, but every single time I'm glad it's coming now instead of, 4 weeks from now or 5 weeks from now. So I'm hoping to get all that sickness out of the way beforehand and don't have to worry about it. But definitely been a safe camp, nothing too risky where I could hurt myself and lose out on a big payday. So taking it, I wouldn't say I'm taking it careful, but I'm just doing me how I usually do. I've never missed a fight, never pulled out, so just continue with what I do.
Mm-hmm. Do you need to hard spar at this point, or is it just technique and getting your body ready for the weight cut?
Well, here's my thing, and I tell this to everyone at the gym could tell you. When I train, I hate drilling. I love jiu-jitsu, but I hate drilling jiu-jitsu. I love stand-up, but I hate drilling stand-up. I tell everybody, when I retire, I'm done drilling. I'm just trying to go straight to the live sparring, that's it. And so this day, like, I hate the drilling. So, we do the technique, but I just kind of wait till we roll, and then I just have fun.
Why do you hate it?
Same with sparring.
Why do you hate drilling?
I hate it. It's just boring, slow. I've been doing it. I mean, I'm fighting, going on 14 years pro now. I've drilled enough. I just get really bored, and I like to life goes and having fun.
But I watch a lot of fights, Steven Siler, and I'd say if I watch 10 fights over the weekend, 1 or 2, they'll go, we worked on that during the camp. We added this tweak, we added this wrinkle, and I put it to use, and I got myself the win. So you're seeing the benefit of it, obviously. You just hate it, or do you just feel like you can't even add any more, new techniques to your arsenal?
Why are you drilling him? He said he doesn't like drilling.
There's always time to learn. I'm always learning everything. I'm still drilling. I still do the moves, even though I'm not enjoying it. I'm still doing it, trying to have fun while doing it. There's always something new I can learn, and I'm still watching it. And there's a lot of times where coach will show me a move. I'm like, I don't want to drill that. I would never use that. And then I don't really drill it, but I've seen it enough, and next thing I know, I'm using it in a fight. I'm like, oh, didn't see that coming.
All right, well, you know the drill. I got to send it over to Goes. Goes, what do you have for Steven Siler?
Steven, social media is so big now as compared to maybe a couple years ago, where now you can basically see everything your opponent's doing. A lot of fighters will post. You get to see their training, what they're eating, all that stuff. In this situation with so much on the line, do you ever get curious? Do you ever peek in on your opponent and just see what they're doing every day?
I actually haven't. I probably should. But, I'm horrible when it comes to social media. I see someone tweet me, I'll just hit the retweet button and let it be. I'm not good with the social media like I probably should be. So, no, I don't really keep up on my opponents at all, actually. So maybe I'll get onto that.
I heard you say earlier that you're about to go do laundry. With so much money on the line, isn't this the one time where you could go, I don't know, babe, it's $1 million. I don't feel like doing laundry. How about I just concentrate on this $1 million fight? Can you get away with stuff like that?
My wife, at home I can. If my wife was here, she's all about she does laundry every time for me. She does literally everything. But I'm in Colorado here all by myself, where I have to do it myself, and I only bring so much clothes, training clothes to train in. Where every Wednesday I know, hey, I'm going to run out. So if I don't do it today, I don't have nothing to train with the rest of the week.
I think gyms need like a prospect, and that guy's the guy that washes clothes.
That's not a bad idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Like
changing the game right here.
The rookie stuff. Yeah. But he's new to Factory X. How long have you been there? About a year, 6 months?
Oh, that would be him?
Yeah, he might actually be the prospect.
Yeah, I'm the prospect. I came out here right before the season started, so I think I waited to the day after my wife's birthday, so May 2nd I came out here, and been out here since May, back and forth.
Steven Siler is joining us here on the hotline. He's facing Lance Palmer on December 31st at the PFL 11 Championship. The winner gets $1 million. The runner-up gets $200,000. And, Steven, I'm doing your homework for you. I'm looking at Lance Palmer. And to be fair, when he's here, because he'll be here next week, I think, we'll probably take a look at your social media. Other than opening a side business, he just seems to be training, and he carved a pumpkin and hung out with his significant other. I don't want to say wife or girlfriend. But, yeah, it seems like he's pretty focused as well.
Yeah, I expect him to. We just fought last year. I've been with him 15 minutes in the cage already, plus, every single fight we've had this year, I think we've been in the same training room the whole time. We trained at the same time and worked out next to each other. I think we even forgot our mitts, but we had to use their stuff for 2 of the fights.
Right.
So, and I've known Lance for a lot of years. So it's nothing that I'm not going to be prepared for it. I expect the best Lance, and yeah, I'm going in there. I'm just going to have fun with, Lance, who I consider a friend.
All right. Dan, Tom, what do you have for Steven Siler?
Man, Steven, George, our host here, just kind of outed himself on your behalf. Lance is a Vegas guy now, so next time George is hanging out at Extreme Couture, I could see Lance looking over at him going, "Oh, you taking notes over there, huh? Taking notes?" So, but in the spirit of social media, though, to pick up on that and getting to know you better, for one, next time you're in Vegas, hopefully, you can drop by the studio so we can get you there then over the phone like we usually have you. But man, I know we talked a little bit about pro wrestling. I think it came up like kind of as a side note on our last interview. And I looked at your Instagram, of course, and whether it's like references with posts with your son Jaden or you wearing a lucha libre mask, looks like you're into it yourself. Does your son have a favorite pro wrestler, or do you have a classic favorite of yours? Do you try to push on to him?
I never really pushed one on him. I let him decide. Obviously John Cena was huge when he first got out. Now he's a huge fan of Roman Reigns, and I had to break the news to him when Roman Reigns got sick, and I'm like, hey, he's sick, bro. He's not going to wrestle for a while. And kind of had to break his heart, but, he's getting past it, and he literally knows, guys like legends like Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper, Warrior, Ultimate Warrior, and all those guys, but then he's all up to them, the new guys. So he's more into it than I am.
That's awesome, man. I mean, it's got to especially give a different dynamic to his appreciation when he sees you, walking out for real to do the business, I got to imagine, right?
He seems to enjoy it quite a bit. He hears the fight song, the one I've been walking out to. Every single time he hears it on the radio, he's, "Dad, your fight song." He starts jamming out. He definitely gets into it.
I got to imagine that's healthier, right? That most fighters with their families, there's a certain age they kind of want to keep them away from it till they feel they're ready. But that's got to be maybe a healthier way to break them in. They have the positive association with wrestling as opposed to the violence that it's actually going on, right?
And something, it actually motivates me. I don't know if I really told anyone the story, but when I fought Malgari last fight, I was feeling weird in the back. I felt like wasn't prepared. Not that I wasn't prepared, but I just wasn't really in the mood to fight, and I was really just not motivated at that moment. And then we really came out with like no entrance music. And all of a sudden, right when I got in the cage, they turned on my song that I've been coming out to, and I looked over at my son. He was jamming out, and something about just making my eye contact with my boy and watching him, like how excited he was getting, it just clicked. And I'm like, oh, I'm ready to fight now. And I think I owe it to that, to me even being where I'm at now, just him motivating me to, turn it on.
Steven, quick plug on the way out. On our channel, do you have SiriusXM in your car or an account at all?
I don't. I don't.
All right. Well, if you get it at this point, we have a show called Busted Open. And if you and your son are into the pro wrestling as much as it sounds like it, I think you guys would dig it. It's daily. And it's hosted by a guy named Dave LaGreca, longtime wrestling fan. And they have Bully Ray and Mark Henry also chiming in. And, man, I'm telling you, these guys dive into Raw and SmackDown and everything. So not just for you, but our audience. Check it out. They're on at 9 Eastern on Channel 83, same channel as us. But it's worth the money, man. You know, for one, our channel just kicks ass with all kinds of combat sports. But if you're just a pro wrestling fan, I think you'd really dig it. And, of course, you can listen at home on SiriusXM, connected devices and speakers, or through the Internet.
Yeah, like I said, after I win this million, that's going to be one of my big purchases, the Royal Rumble tickets for us.
That's what's up. And don't forget about that Chipotle. All right, my man.
Obviously.
Well, listen, I hope you have a safe camp. Full disclosure, you know, Lance does train at the same gym that we go to a lot, and he'll be here next week, and so we'll probably dive into your social media. But really, man, listen, we like both of you guys. We just want you guys to have the best fight possible. May the best person win. Either way, it's already been a W for both of you guys. It's been an incredible season. So thanks for letting us talk to you here during camp.
Always, guys. I appreciate everything. Every single time I've been on the show, I always love being on the show.
All right, Steven. Take care, brother. We'll see you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Later. That is Steven Siler. $1 million to the winner and $200,000 to the runner-up. It doesn't get any better than that.
Still get that car, right?
Still winning.
Whew, man, that's crazy stuff there going down with the PFL. Yeah. All right. Do you follow other organizations, Jessica, or are you just more UFC?
I don't even follow UFC.
No, you don't watch much.
I
you
watch
tell me that you go to Hooters and watch the fights or something.
Yeah, if there's someone that I really want to watch, you know. But I watch Bellator sometimes because I got a lot of friends that fight in Bellator. So I got to go to Bellator in San Jose, which was my first event, and that was rad, super rad. Probably one of the funnest nights I've had at a fight show.
Your coach fought on that one, right?
Who?
Gaston.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one that I was at. I was there because he was fighting.
And by the way, you're going to reach a round number of fights for...
Reach around? What? That's all I got out of that. Sorry, what was the question?
You threw him off his game.
Got him.
You're going to reach a round number of fights on your contract.
Yep.
Are you in any way going to become a free agent after this fight?
No. I still have a few left.
Yeah, sometimes they do 4 or 6 or 8, but
we had 4, but then we renegotiated.
Gotcha.
So I have like a new 4. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also asked because I think it was part of a follow-up to when we discussed Andrea Lee, and you said something about contract and more pay. I was curious. 2018 has been one of those years where you've seen Eddie Alvarez, Demetrius Johnson, and I believe Sage Northcutt is now headed that way to one championship. One PFL. You know, they got a lot of fighters that have former UFC vets, former vets of Bellator, Strikeforce, all the other organizations you can think of. So there's been a lot of moving pieces in our sport.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why I was
There's
asking.
a lot of options, you know, but it's still like, I think even if you're getting paid worse in the UFC, it's like still to be a UFC athlete holds a lot more weight than to be an athlete at these other organizations. Like Demetrius and Eddie, I understand because they're kind of coming to the end of their careers anyway and just about making money, which is really smart. But yeah, I still think it just doesn't carry the same weight that the other organizations.
You were very honest with us earlier when you were talking about going to CSA, and you said some of these girls taught you that they're just maybe better at this time. You need to get better. That being said, I know that they haven't crowned a champion yet, but when you look at the 2 girls that are fighting, do you feel like right now you have a skill set that gives them something? You could take them right now, or can you kind of look at that situation and go, I might need a little bit more work before I can get to something like that?
I think on a technical and physical level, 100%. I think with how emotional the last year and a half years been, mentally I might not be ready to give everything. You know what I mean? Technically, 100%, I'd be happy to face off with either of them, but mentally, I need to get back in the right headspace to be there. You know, and I am. I'm finding that with this fight. Like I've been in the wrong headspace for so long, and this fight I finally am. And maybe this fight is the one to make me go, yeah, I'm ready. You know, it's time to keep moving forward. But yeah.
Who are the females there? Like, does Gina still train?
Gina, no, not really. Like she trains every now and then, but they got Zoila Frausto,
Alexis Davis.
Yep, Alexis. I didn't train with her. She's in Canada at the moment.
Miriam Nakamoto, does she pop in?
Yep. So Miriam,
she was
Zoila,
destructive back in the day,
amazing.
Before she injured her knee. And for some reason, I happened to come across her Instagram recently to see, and it looked like she's back kind of in fight shape. But you know, I think she may be 40 now, and I think she was teasing if she could come back or not. But I'm telling you, at Invicta, she had one of the most devastating series of KOs And when she took that injury, I was like, damn, that was a blow, because I thought she could be a world champ.
I know, like, Liz Carmouche and Pearl Gonzalez made a trip out there a couple weeks ago, so I know they get a lot of people that come back and forth.
Yeah, they do. They're super open to
How'd you come across those people, meeting them?
So Gaston is a monster athlete as well, so I have to do a lot of stuff with Gaston.
Oh, okay, the energy drink.
Yeah, so then when Gaston and I met, we hit it off straight away, and I was like, man, I want to train with him. I've been a fan of his.
He's a beast.
Yeah, and I've been a fan of his for a long time. And even like Kevin Ross is from CSA. I used to watch him 7 years ago when I first found kickboxing, you know, so I've known about that place for a long time. It was on my list of gyms to go to when I first moved to America, and I went to Syndicate first and just never left, you know, but I had 3 or 4 gyms that I was looking at, and CSA was one of them.
Henry Cejudo got really polished by going to that gym.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, the couple of sessions I've been able to do there, I just feel like I improved so much straight away, you know, and I'm at the point in my career where I need to do everything that I can to just get better and get better and get better so I can get paid and get bigger fights and all that, and I just think that they're going to help me tighten things up and make it better. Yeah.
I should know this as the fight analyst research guy or whatever, but is there a difference or is it the same place? I'm obviously familiar with the CSA like we're talking about now, but Eric Paulson, isn't he also do catch wrestling and out of a place called CSA, or is
that's the one in Fullerton?
That's Fullerton. Okay.
Yeah, that one's called CSW.
CSW. Okay, that's what it is. That's the difference. Okay, I'm always getting those confused, like because I'm familiar with the Henry Cejudo and I associate it with that place, but then I'm like, what's that one, Eric Paul? Okay, that's a different place. Sorry about that.
Close.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, you know, one time because I think CSA is located in Dublin.
Yep.
And I think it was the Luke Thomas show, or I was listening and somebody was like, really, like all these fighters are in Dublin, and I had to send a text. I apologize if it wasn't Luke. Or maybe it was RJ. I was like, no, it's CSA in Dublin, California.
Okay.
But yeah, that one's the one in Fullerton. I think it's CSW with Eric Paulson.
That makes much more sense. Yeah, that makes much more sense. Okay.
Here's a quick shout out to the coach, Kieran Fitzgibbons. Look, I've only met him a couple times. He's been a nice guy. But I couldn't believe one thing he told me, and Jessica touched on this earlier. He really doesn't take the money of his fighters. Now, I don't know if this dude's a secret billionaire or what, and that's why he just doesn't need it. And I'm going to touch base with our editorial and see, because I thought that was something that the world should know, man. You know, like, and he specified that even when Alexis Davis fought, and I think there may have even been a bigger payday because of a pay-per-view or something like that. Still, that's just, I don't know. Him and his wife just, they have the gym, they do their thing, but money is not, you know. But that again was 3 years ago. That stood out to me as like, wow, you know, I've never heard of. I've heard of ATT, Dan Lambert, only takes 5% from his athletes, you know, and then of course we've heard other managers that we hear the number 20 get thrown around a lot, perhaps 10, I don't know. It all depends on whether it's your manager and your coach, but that was, you know, something that stood out was the ATT number 5. Yeah. When I heard Kieran say 0, I was like, wow, that was incredible.
Well, that gym's got such a big membership base, and they're like, the 3 days that I was there, I saw more people in that gym than I've ever seen in any gym I've ever been to.
Wow.
Like, it was nuts. And they have, like, the combat sports side, and then they have a CrossFit side, and they were holding a powerlifting meet. In the combat side, they, like, rent out space to Krav Maga classes. Like, he's an incredible businessman, and him and his wife, Jessica, have set up that place so well that I don't think he needs to take the money off fighters. And what he said to me, he goes, you guys are the ones putting in all the hard work. You're putting your body on the line. You're putting your mentality. You put your reputation on the line. He's like, why would I take anything from you? You know, he goes, you choose to be here every day and you let me coach you. Like, why would I take from you now? I was like, man, that's really cool. And in a way, it eliminates that issue where, like, if I'm paying a coach, then I expect them to do a certain job. You know what I mean? And if they don't do that job, then there comes issues.
Old school. I like
yeah,
that. I like
but then with him, because you're not paying him anything, to me it shows that he's coaching because he genuinely wants to. Because there's nothing else out. He's not getting financial gain. Like, he's not a superstar. You know what I mean? He does it because he loves the sport and he loves his athletes. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
I think, didn't he take in Gaston for a while too?
Yeah,
like
he raised Gaston.
Them, right?
Yeah.
He raised Gaston
really
at age 16.
He has there's a girl from New Zealand, Jenna Fabian, I think her name is. She lives with him and his wife now because obviously she's foreign and it's really hard to make money and Dublin's really expensive. So, yeah, Gaston lived with him for a long time. Jenna lives with him. Like,
do you know the one thing that Gaston has in common with George and I, aside from the physique and stuff like that?
Yeah. I don't know what.
You don't know?
You're all from Peru?
Yeah.
Africa.
Has
Africa,
he taken
yeah. Mexico?
Yeah. His grandmother supposedly makes the greatest Peruvian food. So next time you go,
he's told me that.
You should try that.
He keeps telling me to eat Peruvian food, but every time
It's
I'm
delicious.
with him, I'm in camp and I can't eat anything.
It's heavy on the carbs.
Yeah.
It's heavy on the carb food.
Yeah,
for the most
maybe
part.
I'll be up there in the next month, so maybe that'll be the time.
They have them here.
Yeah, I don't want to eat it here. If I'm going to eat Peruvian food, I'm going to go eat it with Gaston Bolanos.
What the? We're Peruvian too, though.
Yeah, I know, but he has the accent. You don't.
¿Qué? Wow. That one
I'll
stung,
eat
George.
cupcakes
It
with you
did,
guys.
huh?
That's
Yeah.
usually their
That's not
go-to.
fair,
That's
yeah.
their
That one
that's their move.
I actually didn't know you guys
just
were
countered it.
Peruvian.
Well, our mom technically
just shoulder
is.
rolled.
He is born from Peru.
Yeah.
Came over at age 16.
Still has the accent.
In fact, he was a punk ass, apparently. When he first got there, he said it, and Kieran said it. And now he's the most chill dude ever.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But
He's
he was
an
like,
incredible
man,
coach as well.
I was a handful, and he realized
Carries
everything
himself
Kieran
well.
was saying. Like, this motherfucker was, you know, I think he almost kicked him out, but they hung in there, and they have a great relationship.
Yeah, incredible. And you can see, like, you can really see the love that the bond that they have between each other. But Kieran's an incredible coach. Gaston is an amazing coach as well. And there's not many fighters, especially really high-level fighters, that can coach.
Very true.
Gaston is, yeah.
It's rare, yeah.
It's almost like he is Kieran's son. He's his protege, you know. He fights incredibly and then coaches exactly the same way.
Right. Hey, what time is Chris Gutierrez coming, by the way?
He's supposed to be here at 11:30.
11:30?
I didn't see him.
It's 11:27. Give
Yeah.
him another 2 minutes.
All right, let's take one more break here. What? He canceled again?
I just saw a text that may lead us down that road.
Read it.
Drum
out
roll.
loud. Put him on blast.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Do you need help with the big words? You want me to
Do
read it?
Is the lettering big enough
I gotta
for you?
figure that out. God, this one with the insults today, huh? Can you believe that? Dude, next
I'm
time
just salty
you're
because
gonna
I
come
can't
over.
eat chocolate cake.
Yeah, you're gonna. I'm gonna cook Peruvian food. I'm gonna take
Okay.
it one level up.
I'm alright with that.
Gaston.
Yeah.
Right,
So
take a break.
what is it? A yes or no? All right.
It's looking that way.
Okay, it's looking which way?
It's looking that it may be a cancel or be late.
All right. It looks like we won't be having Chris Gutierrez on the show, folks. But we still have Jessica Rose Clark here. Insults and all. We love her.
Yay.
It's her birthday. She fights Andrea Lee on December 15th at UFC on Fox 31. That's headlined by Kevin Lee and Ally Aquinta. Solid main event out in Milwaukee. All right, folks. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Baby Paul.
They can drink Mentos-flavored Diet Coke without their stomachs giving a single fuck. They are Gorgeous George and Goes. And this is MMA Junkie Radio.
Get the radio channel numbers and a link to listen to your favorite NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, or NHL team sent right to your smart device. Just go to SiriusXM.com/sports today and click Add to My Calendar. We're joined by Chris Gutierrez here in studio. He'll be fighting Ronnie Barcelos on Friday at the Tough 28 finale. Welcome, Chris. How you doing?
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Even though you kind of dismissed us yesterday, taking that. I'm still a little offended by that, but you made it in today. You could have very well said, "Me vale madres," and I just won't be in. Oh, that's not what Colombians say. What did Colombians say? What's the equivalent to me vale madres? Mira loco.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know? All right, same thing. Yeah. But he's here, so thank you for coming in on Fight Week. How's the weight going? Everything good?
Everything's
on
going
track.
Good. On track.
Yeah. See how I got rid of those cupcakes?
You did.
It's Jessica Rose Clark's birthday, so
well, happy birthday.
We sang her happy birthday.
So they all got to eat cupcakes.
But she's in camp too. She fights in 2 weeks, so we're the only ones eating cupcakes. But yeah, we just didn't want to put it in front of you.
Right. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. You ready to go?
Ready to make weight first.
This is Vegas, so I got to bring it up. But you're an underdog, man. We talk odds here all the time. Did you know that? And how do you feel about that?
I've always been an underdog in anything I've ever done, so it's nothing new to me. I'm just, he's just another guy. At the end of the day, it's just me and him in there.
Are you the one that watches videotape, or do you coaches do it?
I mean, my coaches do the most part of it. I do probably watch one of his fights, but just to get a little bit of his little tendencies that he likes to do. Other than that, I really don't give a shit.
Things jumping off the page?
You what?
Are things jumping off on the film? You think you can exploit?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's just a one-dimensional fighter. He comes straight forward, throws his ass and everything. So,
to be fair, if he's watched your footage, do you think things are jumping off as well for him? Good
luck.
Yeah.
I do a lot of crazy shit.
You feel like you're part of the well-rounded stage. You're one of the young guys that grew up training in MMA and.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I grew up, in various forms of martial arts, and then I was lucky enough to just get on board when MMA was, now, exploding, and so I got a good knowledge of that. Plus, the martial arts that I grew up doing. And I do very well in combining them all. So.
What martial arts? What was the first martial art that you started training?
Judo.
Oh, okay.
Judo, and then I got into karate, and so just stuck with those two for a while.
What got you into all that, by the way?
I was a rough kid. Huh?
Family?
Well, I mean, me and my brothers, we were always rough, but I was always getting in fights on the street, and so I just wanted to learn. Bruce Lee. He was your.
What city did you grow up in?
Greenville, Texas.
Greenville, Texas. All right, and that's just how they get down, huh?
It's rough. It's the South.
Yeah, and bullying or just two friends that are gonna go out there and then still be friends afterwards.
No. It was bullying. I grew up in
gangs.
Sometimes.
Damn.
What's the closest major city to where you grew up?
Dallas.
Dallas?
Yeah.
I heard Dallas can get kind of dicey too. King Mo said that, remember?
Yeah,
Dallas, Fort Worth.
And then isn't Odessa, Texas, one of?
But that's down in the southwest.
As far as crime, Texas don't play.
I only know that because of high school football, but I think that's kind of down in the. Where is Odessa, Texas?
I mean, it's not far from where I was.
What I was saying, it's close to the Dallas area. Yeah.
So
I'm thinking of Perriman High School. Wait a minute, Odessa? No, Odessa's down by El Paso, isn't it?
No. It's closer to San Antonio, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm cutting weight, man.
Oh, okay. It's not a geography lesson, right? Hey, listen. We always ask the in-studio guests if they can share a good street fight story. Since we're already touching on the mean streets of where you're from, can you share a good one with us?
I mean, good street fight story. I mean, I don't know. When I got jumped by 6 guys, they thought I was another guy, and
what'd they jump you for?
They thought I was a Crip. And
okay, so you're walking home from the mall.
I was
set it up.
No, it was on Halloween night. We saw a car kept riding around, and it was funny because I was with a group of Crips.
Okay.
And so.
But you weren't a Crip.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I guess you could. they were all my friends. So when I was there, if something happened, I guess I was one for that time. And we were going around a certain block, and we saw a Cadillac drive by, and all my friends just grabbed bricks and started throwing them at the car. So then, you know, police was right around the corner, and the lights, everybody kind of ran off different directions. Well, me and my friend ran off this way, and I guess that car circled around. And kind of just was like 6, 7 of them just got out the car and started chasing us. And what happened was I no longer saw my friend. He was like,
you guys split up?
Yeah. And so I
kind of... And they kept chasing after you?
Well, I didn't hear footprints, so I kind of stopped. And when I stopped, I just saw like 4 punches. And when I fell, I just got up and kept running. Well, I was fast, you know, so growing up I played soccer, so I knew I could outrun them. But
a second ago, they just caught you.
Well, yeah.
So they were fast, too.
Yeah, well, they were in a car.
But he didn't hear them.
Oh, they were in the car. I thought you said they got out. Sorry.
So then whenever we started running, I could hear like footsteps, but it wasn't a group anymore. It was just one. So I turned around, I hit him, he fell. And then when I kept hitting him, they all ran at me again. So I did it about one more time. And then one guy caught up to me. I hit him, he fell. And finally I
like that strategy.
Yeah. I just on the fly.
Was that already judo Chris and karate Chris, or had you not gotten to that point yet?
I was judo, not in karate yet, yeah.
But you were still throwing punches?
Yeah.
Or judo tosses?
No, I didn't throw nobody. I was punching.
Right. You got to create distance when it's one versus
I didn't
multiples.
want one of them to jump on me and fall, and then all of a sudden all 6 of them come.
Right.
You know what I was thinking of when he was telling the story? And I'm going to get so mad if he tells me he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, the Karate Kid, because it was Halloween. I'm picturing him walking. And then remember, there's like 5 or 6 of them, right, that chase him up to there?
Yeah.
You've seen the Karate Kid, right?
Yeah, I've seen the Karate Kid.
Have you seen the Karate Kid? Oh, here we go.
Jessica!
Incredible, man.
You've seen it? All right.
You guys don't understand. Jessica told us.
I saw Jaden Smith.
She's been here like 5 times. She's been here 5 times, and she goes, "I'm an '80s kid." But literally, like the last 5 things I've asked her that are classic '80s, she's like, "No."
Yeah, I refuse to watch Karate Kid though.
Imagine
it's like Karate Kid and Rocky.
Imagine you coming here on MMA Junkie, all right? And I'm the host of MMA Junkie. You know what junkie means, right? I mean, like I fiend for MMA fights. And if you were to tell me, what'd you think of Hoist? You know, in UFC 1, I go, I don't know. What would you think of Anderson versus Chael? I go, I don't know. What would you think of Brock versus Kane? I don't know. That's how I feel with Jessica. All right, let's go back to this fight. So you went like 5-0 that night. You knocked out 5 guys?
No, it was like 2.
Oh, okay. And what happened to the homie that split? Did you give him shit for not having your back, or do you think he did the right thing in splitting up? Actually, not a bad idea, because now it could be 3-2, and now it's 1 versus 3, 1 versus 2 versus 1 versus 5.
It wasn't. It was 6 versus me. 5 versus me.
I was thinking of
So they didn't play that game. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah,
they split up. Remember that? So here's the trick. If you ever find yourself in that pickle, as you're running, one of you has to drift off, like your homie, but as you go, he comes back. Yeah, and he has to take out the fat one that's running and can't keep up with the other ones. You square him up, boom, 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 and then take his weapon, and then now you've cut down on the odds, and then by the time he catches him from behind, you have more of a shot.
Yeah, we didn't think about that.
That comes from the movie The Warriors, which I know if you haven't seen. Well, you've seen Karate Kid, but it's a 70s movie. It's a cult movie. You got to watch it.
I've actually seen my friend. He actually got me to see that. So
great movie, right?
Saw The Warriors. Oh, I've seen a little bit of it.
Not you didn't like it, huh?
It was actually getting interesting. They have like all the little different sets, and they go around.
What stopped you from finishing the movie, though?
I got tired and went to sleep.
Oh, okay. You didn't like it, though. Because the next day, you were obviously re-energized. You could have watched the end of it.
I could have, but, man, I have a busy schedule. I don't have time to, like, sit around and
you could just say you didn't want to.
No, but I did. So that would be a lie if I said I didn't want to watch it. It was interesting.
You'll like it. You'll like it. One day you'll circle back to it. You'll like it. It's a classic.
Yeah. I'll put that on my bucket list to finish it.
What else do you like to do when you're not fighting? You a great surfer or pool player or
no? I mean, I like to play
piano,
soccer. I like to play soccer, and I like to get out in the mountains and go hiking with my dog.
What kind of dogs do you have?
I have a pit bull.
One,
yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. What's his or her name?
His name is Spike.
Oh, okay.
See, that makes sense, right?
It does.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Age?
6. Just turned 6 in October.
I don't like when people give dogs names like Bailey and Connor.
Glenda.
Weird names like that. Yeah, like you need some like Spike is perfect.
Yeah. Spike is perfect for a pit bull.
Yeah. The name fits him very
Hers
well.
are Blue and Dog. Ours is kind of cheesy if you think about it. Just Max.
It's basic.
But what do you want from us? He's 15 years old.
He's actually Max a million, but we shortened it to Max.
Hold on, you got a dog named Max?
Yeah.
I had a dog named Max.
Did you?
Yeah.
What kind?
He was a German Shepherd and Rottweiler. So.
I knew our name. The dog's name was basic when we went to the dog park, and we said Max, and literally a bunch of people turned around. A bunch of dogs turned around too.
But you know what our strategy was?
Next time I'm gonna pick something like more original, like Otis or something.
Do you remember what our strategy was with it though? It was because we needed something that we could scream right away when he does something wrong. You can go Max.
That's what they say. In fact, you're not supposed to say your dog's name when you say when he or she's doing something bad. So that was a mistake on our part to say Max. You know, you're supposed to say no. But one-syllable names, the dogs learn easier when they have one-syllable names. So, like, my buddy Big Ralph, you know what his dog's name is? Geronimo.
Yeah, it's too much, huh?
Yeah, to get all that out.
We can call him Mo for short, right?
That's what I told him. Short it to Jerry or Mo or something. But it was Vanessa's dog, you know? So you got to keep that tradition, yeah.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about, do you still have family in Colombia?
I do.
What's the scene like over there? Because now they got a couple fighters, right? I mean, like Sabino Mazzo's from Colombia, La Pulga, Gianni Herrera, he's from Colombia. Like, what is that scene like over there now?
I haven't been down there in a while, but I mean, from when I went, it was beautiful. You know, you have, just like anything, you have your bad side of it, but you have your beautiful side of it as well.
But MMA starting to catch on over there?
I mean, I would think so.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really. I know that Sabino Mazzo is really big down over there, and you know, other than that, I don't. I know they have like the Colombian Muay Thai, that academy down there is pretty good, from what my uncle told me. So.
Is it a lot safer now?
I mean, I guess it depends what your point of safe is.
Well, we're also part Mexican, and him and I are afraid to go there, but. Some, you know, our family members will go, it's no problem. It's just, you know, it's people that do stupid things that get in trouble. But
I mean, if you live in that environment every day and you have to wake up to it, it becomes, you know, a regular thing. When we went, it was beautiful, but there was crazy moments.
Really? Like what?
We saw a guy get shot right in front of us.
Whoa.
That is a crazy moment. So what happened?
I don't know. My uncles, they had this car. We were in it, and they hooked up a microphone to it so we could, like, you know, like talk shit to people outside and it echoes.
Come on, really?
Yeah. We did. Well, we did that. My uncle did it for us because we lived in a big ranch, so we would, like, you know, just talk shit to each other from car to car. And we went to.
Is it just to, like, joke around, or are you actually challenging someone? Like, what's up, motherfucker? You wanna? Like,
no. We just, like, if you drive and you saw somebody in a bicycle, you'd be like, "Hey, idiot," and then they'd be like. You know,
kind of goofing.
Yeah, goofing around, yeah.
Gotcha.
And so we kept it on. He flipped the switch and he kept it on, and we heard, like, arguing, and we're like, damn, that's getting serious. And my uncle was like, look, and we looked, and just two guys pulled out some guns and they started shooting at each other.
Jeez.
But, like, they were getting hit, and then they both just took off running, and we're like, oh, I think that was the first time we ever saw that. Man. And our uncles were like, damn, they weren't joking, and me and my brother were like, oh man, like, you know, what's happening. But I mean, that was the craziest thing we've seen. I mean, that's pretty crazy to see somebody get shot, like, from here to where the window's at.
Yeah.
Not a fun sight.
I'll tell you what, man, between these two and these stories, we were talking crocodiles with Jessica earlier. And now you're talking about gunshots in Colombia.
Wild pigs.
It's too much for me, man.
The wild pigs are the ones that's with the tusk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I mess with them either.
That's
where
she
you from?
fears.
I don't like wild pigs. Australia.
Oh, you're from, okay.
She fears wild pigs the most. What do you fear the most when it comes to animals?
Shit, snakes and spiders.
I'm with you. I'm with you on snakes. Spiders, I just step on them. But yeah, but in Texas there are a lot of snakes, right?
There are, and there are a lot of those wild boars.
There are?
Yeah, I don't know what you call them, hogs.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't mess with those either.
What's so wild about them? What do they do? Charge you? Bite you?
Yeah, but they're aggressive.
Sting you? What do they do?
Scary.
Go out there and find out.
Yeah.
Well, the
I got
tusk will rip
stranded
your
in a
leg.
tree once because of one.
And
Yeah.
they'll keep you up there for hours.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
if you climb a tree, and it's like 3 of them, they'll stay there.
Yeah.
For like hours. And then
I must have.
Isn't that how they dispose of bodies too? Right? They give them the pigs
They
because
give
they
them
just
to
eat
pigs.
them.
Well, yeah, but
Pigs don't mess around.
I must have missed.
What they say, it takes like
under-
one week. You put a regular pig out in the like you leave a regular pig in the like wild. Like it takes 1 week or 2 weeks for it to go like
Go feral, yeah.
Yeah, get feral.
But there are like horror. There's Australian horror movies about wild pigs. Yeah,
I'll
that's
have to check it out.
I'm sure they got bigger ones in Australia. I mean,
Australia don't play. They got a lot of like if you look most venomous animals,
everything.
8 of the top 10 are in Australia. So if you avoid Australia, we're all pretty safe.
Yeah.
But she's come across a lot of them apparently. She's not. She went to beaches that had crocodiles.
Yeah, our beaches get closed because of crocodiles.
Which begs the question: why would they ever open, right?
Yeah, I don't do that. No.
Me
If I can't see through the water, that's why I don't swim in lakes.
Thank you.
I don't swim in lakes. Not that. You get bit by something or something pulls you under. I've seen a lot of horror movies too. You seen Jason?
Yeah.
You just
That's
grab
why I
him.
don't go camping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm reminded Chris Gutierrez is the one that beat Ray Rodriguez, right? Which is Ray's buddy. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. So Chris Gutierrez is fighting Hani Barcelos on Friday at the Tough 28 finale. Jessica Rose Clark. She'll be fighting Andrea Lee at UFC on Fox 31. We're going to take our last break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on SiriusXM Rush 90, Fight Nation 93. Stay close. We'll be right back.
They taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, I'm not going to do a read. I'm just going to let everybody know my favorite channel. No, I got a couple of them. NBA Radio, Channel 86. Check that out. All day they just talk NBA. Lakers, baby. 88 is the NFL channel. I love that. We're in the middle of the NFL, and they're always covering from top to bottom there, all the weekends, all the action from the weekend. And then First Wave, which is a new wave channel, which is channel 33. Richard Blade and a bunch of DJs, including Bueller on Saturday night. They kick ass as well. All right, so we got to do the daily debate. We got a couple fighters here. Guys, this is the main event at Bellator 210. Chidi Njokwani versus John Salter. David Rickles versus Guillermo Bomba. Bruna Allen versus Christina Williams. Juan Archuleta versus Jeremy Spoon. And we noted that there's some really, really good ones on the undercard. So the question is, guys and gal, Bellator 210 has a number of solid fights on its prelims. Which one deserved to be on the main card? Bunch versus Warren. Morris versus Schilling. Weichel versus Yamauchi, or more than one of those? Goes, you go first.
I think Bunch versus Warren is probably what a lot of people would want to see. I think they deserve that, but honestly, I think Weichel and Yamauchi is going to be a fun fight. So if it were me, I would pick Weichel and Yamauchi.
I would pick more than one because I like Bunch and Warren, and I also like Weichel versus Yamauchi. You got to promote these fighters so that on future fights, when they are contenders, or in Warren's case, a former champion, the eyeballs are drawn to it. So I think, I mean, Joe Warren's the baddest man on the planet, for crying out loud. Why is he not on the main card? Chris, what would you say?
Joe Warren. He's
Joe
a teammate.
Warren. Oh, okay.
So.
All right, yeah. But and a former champ, right?
Yeah, I mean,
most
importantly, you know.
And a draw.
He's fighting Sean Bunch the Great.
Him and Sean Bunch, they, you know, they're two Olympic, you know, medalists in the Olympics. And not only that, he's a former champion. One is an upcoming guy, you know, but that's my pick. I'd pick them.
All right, Jesse, Jess. Bunch and Warren, Morris and Schilling, Weichel and Yamauchi.
What's my answer going to be?
I
don't know who any of those people are.
Oh, well, there you go.
Sure. All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
There you have it. There's today's daily debate brought to you by the MMA Junkie radio team and Chris Gutierrez and Jessica Rose Clark. They both have fights coming up. All right, Chris, what's your prediction for Friday?
I don't predict. I just go out there and do what I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. But what do you envision, a KO or sub?
Whatever gets given to me.
All right. But you look more like a KO type guy. So I'm predicting a KO is how you get it done if you get it done.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right. Especially after that story, man. You took out 5 Crips, right? Or
right.
2? Bloods. Yeah.
Bloods.
Yeah, that's
Bloods.
incredible. Jessica, it's always great to have you in studio.
Thank you.
I hope whatever is left of camp is a safe camp for you, and safe travels to Milwaukee, and good luck versus Andrea Lee. And happy birthday. Hope you enjoy your birthday. And
thank
thanks
you.
for
it was
stopping by.
The best birthday I've ever had. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for saying that. How do you get the job done on December 15th?
Honestly, she's so good and so scrappy. It's probably going to be another decision.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think we both like to be really scrappy and, like, I don't know, they're the harder ones to predict. Anything could happen.
Right on. All right, I want to thank all of our guests today, Chris Gutierrez, Jessica Clark, and Steven Siler. Tomorrow we'll have Rob Font and Kelvin Cater in studio. In the second hour, we'll have Kevin Lee in studio. So we'll see you then. For Danny back east, Dan, Goes, Jessica, Chris, myself, the gentleman who hasn't introduced himself, we will...
That's Yusuf.
Yusuf. Okay, we'll see you all next time on another edition of MMA Junkie Radio. Go out there and be a champion. Nice to meet you, Yusuf.